Okay, we're here for training for the safety pickup and disposal of sharps. Here we have Natasha Henry, who I'll be doing training with, and this is Stephen Bray, who is the Director of Osticon Specialised Cleaning Services.
Hi everyone.
So,
Glad I could come along today.
what we have today, Natasha, is we're just going to walk you through the correct procedure on how to pick up sharps. We do find them around the Badlands Live venue that we're at here today, and it is a safety issue as a staff member and for us as your employers that they are dealt with properly. Just to start with, if there is any sort of emergency and you need to exit, you go through this door here, out to the front of the building and gather in the car park. If you need to use your phone at all during this, it's fine, but if you can just keep it on silent and just say, I have a call to take, and we'll stop for a moment. The only other thing we may come across is that the trains go past occasionally at this venue, so if I stop talking when the trains are going past, that is why. Okay, so as I said, we are here to talk about sharps. Now, a sharp can be a needle, a sharp can be glass, a sharp can be any blade, anything that can cut you, and it can, when it cuts you and it breaks your skin, it can transfer disease to you, and that's what we're trying to stop. So when we pick up sharps, one of the first things we do is we always double glove. We've been over double gloving in a previous conversation that we've had when you first started here, and the reason is for double gloving is for sharps is the first glove that's on your hand will give you very good protection, but that second glove is more than likely to stop the sharp. If it penetrates that, it's not going to penetrate the second glove. When we're picking up sharps, it is preferred you don't pick them up with your hands to start with. So we like to eliminate that, and we use good old safety kitchen tongs. So if the sharp is in a position where you would actually have to get down on the floor and sweep it out, we would prefer you use a broom or something like that rather than put your hand in and actually pull the sharp out, because so you're really asking for a stick if you do something like that. So once we have the sharp out and we've picked it up with the tongs, then we've got to dispose of it. So not taking into consideration this container here, which is a proper sharps container. And is there anything else on this table that you would use to put sharps into?
If it's small enough, you could fit it in a bottle. Or that's a container to put it in.
Yeah, that's good.
Probably my last option would be the egg container.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, the thing is, the egg container or the plastic bag is really easily crushable. So if you were to put this somewhere else, someone else might grab it, pick it up, and of course they could get a needle stick, which could be really dangerous. Over here we have our Solo bottle, and we're going to stop for a moment as the plane goes past again. Oh, that's a long one. Okay. Over here we have a Solo bottle. Now, yes, you can use these, but these are not your go-to. And the reason they're not a go-to is because they are crushable.
Right, yeah.
So if there is any way, like if there's not a lot of air in there and people can crush them, that means that the needle can actually come through it. But if there's nothing else available, they are a go-to, and another good reason why is because they have a sealable cap on them. Something like a stubby holder, putting the sharp down into it, just a definite no. We wouldn't even consider that as a go-to. And if you didn't have a correct sharps container, this would be the best option on the table because it's a solid hard plastic. It has a great lid on it, and once you have the sharps in it, you would tape it shut around the top, and then you would write sharps on the outside of the container. Okay, so if I was to be picking sharps up, and we're using a pencil as a representation of a sharp, just for safety reasons, this is the container you'd be looking for on site to put your sharps into. It is specifically designed to take sharps, and it is disposed of correctly once the container is full. That is why. If you open your sharps container like this, say I have my gloves on, is it okay for me to pick the sharp up and put it into the container like that? How do you feel about that? What would you think?
I'll probably still use the tongs.
Yep, that's cool. Is there anything else that you can see there that could be a problem if I was to do that? It's okay.
You don't know if it's full?
No, one of the main things about putting a sharps into a container while you're holding it is that if you get bumped or you trip or anything, you can put the sharps straight down into your own hand or into someone else's hand. If someone goes, hey, pop the sharp in here, what the correct procedure is to do is ask them to put the container on the table and then either pick it up with your hand and place it in, or preferably pick it up with the tongs and place it into the container. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. So now, around the live venue, it's not unusual to find needles and sharps. So if you do come across any, either go looking for tongs and your yellow container, or find something that's really quite rigid.
Something that can't be crushed easily.
Excellent, yes, something that can't be crushed easily. What we've got here is a handout for you. If we were actually doing a sharps job where they said, there's hundreds of needles out the back, we need you to come in, we would actually have you wear proper puncture resistant gloves rather than just normal rubber gloves. We would also have you have knee pads on, and that is so that if you were to kneel down on the ground and a needle had broken off on the ground, you wouldn't get that stuck into your knee. And that's another thing to actually look for very carefully before you get down on the ground to pick a sharp up. If you have to get onto your knees, is double check the area in front of you. This little handout here goes through what would be considered good containers and bad containers as far as picking sharps up. I'll send this through to you. Just got another tray here. I'll send this through to you on a PDF as well, a colour PDF, and then you can just keep it on your phone for reference if you need it. And this little form here, another PDF that I'll send through to you, and it's just a do and a don't when it comes to working with sharps. It's if you're going into a workplace like this, and you scan the workplace and check out to see if there's anything that looks like it's a sharp before you start your work. If you need, go and get a sharps container and carry it with you. It's busy today, isn't it? Also, if you use tongs to pick up the sharps where practical, and use puncture-resistant gloves when retrieving sharps. And under the do not section here, it's do not poke your fingers down holes or in tight spots to receive sharps. And you've got to be very careful when putting your hands behind basins here. If you can't see properly, don't just throw your hands behind. Do not pick up sharps without the correct PPE. Don't think, oh, if I just push it through with this cloth and get it out the other side, you could end up with a needle stick there. Do not store the sharps in a crushable container. And do not throw sharps do not hold a sharps container in one hand and put the item in with the other hand. If you have anyone holding the sharps container whilst with you, when you're transferring the item, they cannot hold the container either. If if you were to get a needle stick, the most important thing that you could do is go to emergency, basically pack the job up straight away. If you can, take the stick, what you've been pricked with you, and go to the emergency room and have it sent to immediately. And you'll also have to fill out, of course, work health and safety forms if that were to happen. Alright, what I'm going to get you to do now is, if I was to put some sharps, which will be these pens, in a couple of spots, what I'll do is I'll get you to pick them up, and if you can just demonstrate putting on your gloves before doing that, and I'll get you to pick them up and just pretend to put on the gloves, and we will film you picking up the sharps.
Okay. Second glove.
Excellent.
Got my 2 gloves on.
Yep. Very good. Placing it in.
There?
Yeah. No, just pretend that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. Excellent. It's really good not to actually kneel down unless you have to.
Yeah.
Yep, pretending to put that in there. Great. Okay. Now, how do you think that may have been able to be done better? If there's one thing you could have changed.
I would have taken the lid off before picking the first item up.
Excellent. That's fabulous. Okay. So we're going to throw these down again here. One there. One there. There your sharps again. We haven't got this container. I've said, hey Natasha, there's sharps out the back. They need to be taken care of. What would you do?
I would use this container.
Excellent.
Take the lid off first.
Uh-huh.
Put the double gloves on.
Excellent.
Pick the items up with the tongs.
Yes. So pick the items up. Oh, get some exercise while you're doing this, Natasha. Never thought that.
Lid back on.
Excellent.
And then put the tape around the lid.
That's fantastic.
Seal it.
Yes, excellent. Is there anything else you do after that?
Can't think of anything.
The only other thing that you would do would be you would write sharps on the outside of this container.
Okay,
Yeah? Okay, if we had a sharp and this container wasn't here, what do you think you would do there? So that's my sharp. I said, hey, there's a sharp on the table.
Probably that would be the best option then.
Yes?
Yes, I was saying take the lid off first. I've got wearing my double gloves.
Yes. So what I'm going to suggest now is we would crush this down as much as possible first,
Okay, yep.
so that it's sort of already like rather rigid
Yeah.
before. Good, that's excellent. And then we would pick the sharp up, drop it in there, excellent.
So put the lid back on,
Uh-huh,
put tape around the lid,
yes.
and then write on their sharps.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Well, that is all we had to do today, is to go over how to deal with sharps.
Great.
Do you feel like you've understood everything
Yes.
we have here?
Yep. Getting
Excellent.
everything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys.